Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is well. I'm sorry for the delay. I am not sure if our guest is having some technical difficulties. I assume that she is. So I thought I'd come on, talk to you for a little while, see if we can give her a little bit more time. And if not, then you and I just had a great conversation. My name is Stephanie Van Vark. I am the host of Just Talking Business. I am a small business owner. And each week or every so often, I show up and try to invite a guest to talk to you a little bit about, or talk to you a little bit about their pivot plan, circumstances, and situations where they've had to pivot in order to stay alive as a business. We've had some businesses that weren't all that successful, others that were able to turn the corner and really make a difference. And some that turn the corner and doing what they're doing every day. But I think through it all, we have learned a lot about. Some of the innovations, some of the ideas, some of the creative ways people have been able to really jumpstart or revitalize their business in times of challenges. So while I'm here, I'll tell you a little bit about me. I don't think I've ever shared with anyone my little business story, a business journey. I started out many years ago, incorporated in 2008. Have sort of be honest, I didn't really kick into the business for at least 5 years. I think it's just flat out fear of getting out there, making the leap of faith. But when I did, I went full throttle into the public relations world. The, that's not necessarily, or was not necessarily my passion. My passion was production, but because of the market that I'm in, it is much easier to explain public relations than it is production, and much easier to explain the cost for public relations than it is production. So, I think it's sort of, media was a background for me. I'd studied for 2 years in a film and design technology school at Miami-Dade College, and just thought it might be a good transition into a business here. Um, it went okay. I won't say it was bad. I definitely made money at it, but it just wasn't my passion. It wasn't what I really loved to do. I love to create, and I love to get behind those creations and see them come to life. And I guess that's where I like birthing creative ideas, whether they're mine or someone else's. And so, public relations just wasn't a great fit for me. And COVID actually allowed me the opportunity to make that transition. As many of you know, I was also doing special events, by the way, special event production. And as you know, during the pandemic, all of that shut down. I mean, I had no income coming in. Um, it was a scary time, and thank God my husband and I are pretty thoughtful with regards to our spending. So we made it through okay, but it was also a time to reflect what is in the best interest of um, what do I want to do? What do I want to do when I grow up? What do I want to do with my life? And so my decision at that time was to get out of something, or actually, I hadn't made the leap yet. I'll be honest about that. I actually ended up taking a training, a virtual training. It was amazing. I'll call them out. Emerging Leaders, actually one of the best programs and a bit of a game changer when it came to business. There have been two real game changers when it came to business for me, one of which is Emerging Leaders, which was sponsored by the Small Business Administration, and one that was local. Heirs Ventures program, a one-on-one program. I've seen a significant difference in my business development since I had a chance to participate in both of those programs. And of course, having access to resources and funding um, as a result of the opportunities I received through them has been great. Anyway, I'll say all that to say one of those programs we had to sort of do a real coming to Jesus about what we wanted our business to be and what we wanted our business to look like. And I just had to I just had an epiphany. I did not like public relations. It wasn't my thing. I think it's necessary. And I know some people who are good friends of mine who are excellent at it, and they are, they can get things done. And I just knew that wasn't me. So it was a good time to transition, and ergo, this show was born. So Just Talking Business launched immediately after the pandemic. I was walking around one day, exercising, definitely with my mask on, trying to stay as safe as I could. And I just came up with, okay, let's do Talking Business. This is the perfect time to talk to other businesses about what they're doing to stay afloat. And ergo, here we are. 120 shows later, a couple of years later, there's been some ebbs and flows in terms of, how the iteration of how this show has grown. We've grown considerably larger than I actually thought it would grow, because I thought it was a little more local. But I am so happy that we have 18,000, a little over 18,000 followers nationally, um, who tune in or check out some of our social media posts, just to find out what others may or may not be doing. Um, so that was born, and it really set me on a new trajectory of where I felt I could be most effective in this business arena. Um, so here we are today, still changing, still ebbing, still flowing, trying to create some other projects, trying to get some sponsorships behind those projects. Yesterday had an opportunity to be a podcast producer for another show. I was very excited about that. And so that's a good revenue stream I think we're going to go into as well as I've allowed someone to take over the show, become the host, bring their own guest, and interview that person. And as a result, get some clips that they can share on social media about their work and their product and the work product. We've had a chance to talk to folks who have just soared and really done some extraordinary things, and some people who've had to have a real coming to Jesus about how they got started and where they ended up. Just a lot of great opportunity, but in particular, a great chance to grow myself, because with each guest, I've learned something new, and something's been affirmed or reinforced in what I'm thinking I'm doing as an entrepreneur. And so we're growing, and now on a serious growth trajectory, scales trajectory, whatever that all looks like. And I'm very excited about the growth potential. Today, we were actually going to talk to a young lady that I've known now for years. She used to live in the Miami area and now has relocated. But I remember when she sort of launched into this tourism space, and we had not had a guest in the tourism space. And I was very interested to find out where we are now, with cultural tourism in particular, which is her area of expertise, especially with a new administration kind of trying to remove the DEI initiatives that were launched many years ago. But cultural tourism is attached to money. I did a little research, and $2.36 trillion goes into travel and tourism every year, and 40% of that is connected to cultural tourism. And that's all cultural tourism. That's not just African American. That's, around the world, wherever you go and whatever culture you tap into, you can get some exposure and money in that industry. So I thought it would be very interesting to get her take on that, as well as, how she got into this work, and where, if some of you are interested in this space, where you need to look, um, how you need to get started. It's not always that easy. So how can you make those types of things happen in a big way and be successful in that arena? So, at any rate, I guess we will not be talking to that guest today. I have to apologize, and I'll figure out what's going on, and we'll have her on again at another date and time. But I hope my little story has been helpful in some way. Of course, I'm always trying to learn. I work a lot in a silo at home. I'm a home-based business, and work a lot in a silo. And I know I'm always tapping into my entrepreneurial friends and say, "What are you doing? How are you doing that?" It doesn't even matter the product. It's just, how are you? I know one of my challenges right now is manpower. I am a one-man band with two hands, and how do I manage it all? What are some automations I can put into place to make those types of things occur? Just had a chance to go to a workshop where there was a lot of conversation around that. And what are some additional revenue streams that I need to be looking at that I might be missing the boat on? So there's a lot of unpacking that kind of information as well, that we're doing. So if you're interested in something like that, please reach out. I'm not above getting together and virtually with some folks who want to brainstorm or just come up with some ideas together. Let's support one another. I definitely think it's a great opportunity for us to thrive. And if you're a new entrepreneur, it might not be a bad idea to get a mentor early, because there will be many, many, um, I don't want to say challenges, there'll be many lessons to learn. You'll look at them as challenges initially, but they're lessons to learn. And at some point, you will have to pivot. We all have. Um, and it may be a pivot, or you realize you need to make on your own, or it may be something like a pandemic where it's telling you it's time for you to do something different. Um, Either way, you can still be successful. So, my advice to anyone that wants to hop into this space, I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day. She's new to the entrepreneurship world. First of all, entrepreneurship will challenge you mentally, emotionally, physically sometimes, but it really will also challenge your confidence. That's the word I'm looking for, your confidence. There will be moments when you just feel like an utter failure. That's entrepreneurship. Doesn't mean that you are, just means that's that day. Tomorrow's another day, another dollar. Some people have a real come to Jesus with themselves and say, I am not built to be an entrepreneur, because I don't think entrepreneurship is for everyone. And daily I question if it's for me. But so far, I guess it's worked out a little bit. Um, but suffer from imposter syndrome, suffer from, establishing your worth and having the market understand the need for that worth. Just a multitude of things that that challenge you each and every day. But those who do it well do it very well, and those who have figured out they might need to take another route, they do, and they do very well as well. It's just a matter of you looking in the mirror and figuring out where are you supposed to be on this earth, and what are you supposed to be doing in this space. Um, so, anyway, we will check you out next week. We have another show with another young lady, who is in the interior decorating space. So we've talked to someone in that space before, but this is someone in a different market, and I'm really, really interested in how she got started, and what has been some things she's had to do with regards to pivoting as well, because that space is one of those things where sales and creativity have to reign supreme in order for you to be really successful in that arena, especially when you're talking about going into people's homes, and probably what you're doing is quite expensive, so you definitely got to touch a market that um, can afford it. So, at any rate, thank you for checking us out and continuing to check us out. Again, if you are an entrepreneur or you are starting in that entrepreneurial space, reach out. Let me know what you're doing. I really want to hear what's happening, how it's going, where you think you need some support. I'll help in any way that I can. And yeah, if you want to we want to do a virtual happy hour and just commiserate, but both enjoy the experience, or enjoy um, getting to know one another better, first of all, and then, leaning on each other for expertise. I'm definitely open to that too. So reach out, let us know. All right. It was fun chatting with you. We'll catch up with you next time. And keep checking us out. It just talking business. We really appreciate you. Have a great day.